listening to Sweep the League.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League Radio.
Hey, what is up, everybody? Rudy Campos Jr. for Sweep the League Network. Be sure to join our YouTube channel. That is Sweep the League TV, growing every day by daily. I mean, we're getting a follower or two or subscriber or two every single day. So appreciate everybody that is joining. You can tell my Tim Duncan, David Robinson, the champs poster's gone. Doing a little bit of construction here in the Sweep the League studio. So hopefully we'll have something behind there and kind of fill in the gap there a little bit. But for right now, everything's kind of getting switched around. I might put up the fantasy football championship belt that I have for all you losers out there that have lost to me in past years. That's the big middle finger to all you guys out there. But not talking about middle fingers right now. We're talking about MCS General Contracting, the proud sponsors of Sweep the League. You need that diamond hard work construction. You call Lehan the boys at MCS General Contracting. They're going to get it right the first time, every time, 100% guaranteed. They are backed by Sweep the League 100%. Take our word for it. They are the best in the business. That is MCS General Contracting. Also, shout out to a new sponsor coming on. I'm not going to reveal the details just yet, but wait for later on in the week. We're going to announce another sponsor coming on here for Sweep the League. It's going to be a tremendous buy for all you people out there. Sweep the League Nation, you want to go get your gear very, very soon when we make that announcement. It's going to have a promo code for you. As soon as we get everything lined up, it's going to be for you guys out there. And guess what? We're going to be giving away a lot of stuff as well. So shout out to a future sponsor. We're going to be announcing later on this week. We're going to tease it right now, but we're going to be announcing a future sponsor later on this week here for Sweep the League. What do we got going on? Of course, we had the debacle, I guess, of Rudy Campos's picks from week 1 in the NCAA football season. Those fighting Texas Longhorns, not as bad as Texas Horn fans are making it. We'll get into that here in a little bit. We're going to break down a little bit of the games here for week 1 in the NCAA. As you saw the NFL bump that we did at the beginning of the show, we got week 1 of the NFL bump. And shout out to a chaotic NFL fantasy football league. I had a draft a little while ago, probably one of the more calmer drafts. I got another 2 drafts tomorrow. Plus I have another draft. Actually, I got 3 more drafts tomorrow. And then I have a draft on Thursday morning. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of great fantasy times out there. It's just going to be a lot of great fun. But we had a great chaotic fantasy football draft. I'll get into that here in a little bit. Shout out to the No Feelings Only Chaos League out there. Love you guys. We're going to get into all that, including more here at Sweep the League. Coach Gio's not going to be joining tonight. So Coach Gio, he's on vacation. When I say he's on vacation, he's halfway across the world. He's over in Europe. He's enjoying his vacation now. The NIL deal we signed earlier on the month, last month, massive money. So, yeah, Gio's taking a little bit of a break once he signed that big-time contract. So he's enjoying himself over there. Let's get into some of the comments before we get to the recap here. We've got Elias who says, I'm down to talk the Chaos League. You should know about all the chaos that happened in that league. We'll get into a little bit of that here. Blue Devils and Tar Heels still suck. You know what, Tim? You have to remember, I did tell Gio on our NCAA football show that I had 0 expectations for Bill Belichick, and I said that he wouldn't last the entire year. Pretty pathetic showing, but you know what? I mean, it just shows Belichick's not – there's guys that belong in the NFL and shouldn't be in college. There's guys that should be in college only and not in the NFL. Hey, Nick Saban. You just don't ever think like, well, Bill Belichick, greatest, one of the greatest, if not the greatest football NFL head coach of all time, is going to struggle in college. Well, yeah, he's going to struggle in college big time. Shows. It's 2 different leagues, man. 2 different leagues. I don't expect him to be out there. I don't expect him to be out there very much longer, but let's get into this here. You're talking about Chaos League. We'll talk about that. I'm late, but I'm here. You're never late, man. We're just getting started. Speaking of that, MCS General Contracting, again, proud sponsors of Sweep the League. They are the umbrella sponsor for Sweep the League. They do everything and everything for us. But guess what? We've got another one that's coming on as well. We're going to announce that later on in the week. So just keep your eyes peeled. We got a lot going on. We've got a lot of shows. Play the Sith, Grading the Market, Sweep the League TV. We've got more shows coming on board as well. As soon as we start getting the lineup for you guys, we'll make you more announcements. So definitely pay attention. Just go to YouTube, search Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button. Like that logo in the background. Everything's changed, Tim. So we made a rebranding post on Twitter, X, whatever the kids are calling it today. We've rebranded everything. New studios, new intro. We've got new STL music is dropping like buku hits every single day. So a lot's changed. We're getting nice little backgrounds. We got plenty of backgrounds as well. So appreciate the love on that. And Jacob Eric, Creating the Market Zone, says, let's do it. Oh, man, new sponsor. Yeah, we got more coming on board, brother. We got more coming on board. So loving it. Our fantasy league is the greatest of all time. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, he won't make it through halfway of the season. No, Bill Belichick will not make it through halfway of the season. Before we get into NFL talk, before we get into NCAA talk, let's talk fantasy football. So there's a league. And, of course, as you can tell, Sith is in here. Played the Sith zone. Elias is in here. He's talking about the fantasy football league. And I did give a shout out to the guys out there. It's a No Feelings All Chaos Fantasy Football League. And you're talking my first pick in the draft, first round, was the Denver Broncos defense. You may think, what the hell, Rudy? What defense and kickers and then quarterbacks. Defense and kickers get the most points weekly. I had Brandon Aubrey. I'm going to get into that in a minute, but I ended up drafting Denver as my first round pick because they are the best defense according to scoring wise. They are the best defense. Now, when you're predicted to score 400 points and your defense is giving you 180 of those points, yeah, I mean, that's what you're doing first, is you're definitely going defense first. And then second round, I went kicker. I went kicker. I went Brandon Aubrey. And then I went Jalen Hurts. The three positions that give you the most points, I went back to back in, and then the rest fell into place. But that's not the chaos part I'm talking about. So the rule had it that the top three teams from last year, and I was actually, I think, fourth, if I'm not mistaken. I cannot remember. But the top three guys in the league were able to, after the draft, they were able to make two transactions. And when I say two transactions, they were able to cherry pick a player from every team, from two teams. Like, it could be any team out there. I'm going to use my case, an example. One of the guys saw I had Brandon Aubrey. He wanted Brandon Aubrey. So he traded Chris Boswell for Brandon Aubrey. You cannot deny the trade. You have to accept the trade. I said it was a bunch of BS, amongst other four-letter words. I said a bunch of that because I really wanted Brandon Aubrey. But at the same time, I have to abide by the rules. So I had to accept the trade. Brandon Aubrey is now a part of the other team, which that name should not be mentioned. But if you're curious, he shares a name with me, making him the second best, Rudy in the league. But he's got Brandon Aubrey. I have to end up with Chris Boswell. So what did I do? I created a little voodoo doll, and I started chopping the leg off of Brandon Aubrey. So that trader can be wherever he goes. I don't really care about Brandon Aubrey no more. He's dead to me. Nonetheless, that's not the chaos. So here's the part. When these guys give you a trade and you don't accept it, which technically you have 24 hours to accept the trade. If you don't, well, then the chaos begins because now your team basically gets cherry picked. So as of today, I was able to trade Taj Brooks, who's a rookie from Cincinnati Bengals. Definitely could be. He's definitely like their third guy in line for running back duty, but wasn't going to get a whole lot of play. I was able to trade him and cherry pick off of the guy's team to get Devon Achane, one of the best running backs in the league. So where I lost Brandon Aubrey, where, he became a traitor, became dead to me. I was able to gain Devon H. And let's not be real. Chris Boswell as a kicker, not too bad. I mean, I can deal with Chris Boswell as a kicker. He's not that bad. I mean, Aaron Rodgers can move the ball downfield. Doubt he can score any touchdowns, but hey, Aaron, as long as you can get it within field goal range every time, I'll take those kicks by Boswell every day of the week. Doesn't matter. I'll take them. So that's the Chaos League. I mean, we had anything from a guy basically not dropping, but just, I mean, if you auto draft, you just auto effed yourself, basically. So you have to rebuild that whole team, basically. And I mean, it's a fun league. I love the league because it's fun. We talk a lot of shit in there, but you can literally screw yourself big time because it's crazy. And apparently the last place team in this league is going to have to do something, which we all have jobs, man. So we're going to make it as crazy. We're not going to make it as crazy as we want. This is why you follow rules, because you know you get fucked. Yeah, exactly. Leha's right. I mean, if you don't follow the rules, you really get screwed over. So as mad as I was that Brandon Aubrey, I had to trade him away, I followed the rules, and yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. Shout out to the Chaos League, man. That's a great league out there. I've got other drafts to do. Like I said, tomorrow I've got a couple of drafts. Actually, three drafts tomorrow. And I got one more Thursday morning, and then fantasy football. The drafts are over. I was able to get some pretty decent teams. Some teams I'm really not happy about, but that's just kind of the way it works, where you ever draft in what position. So we'll see how it all works out. Shout out to everybody playing fantasy football. You guys got any questions fantasy-wise? You can drop them in the chat whenever we're live. If you want to hit us up on Twitter at Sweep the League, just hit us up. We'll help you out as much as we can. We've had some people hit us up already, and we talk about it. We'll help you as best we can. We're not guaranteed, to make you $1 million, but we are guaranteed to give you the absolute best advice that we possibly can. So shout out to everybody out there. This weekend, Brennan Senior small forward Bella Flemings will be visiting Duke on her recruiting trip. Yeah, I think I read that somewhere. And also Tim said he won't be making halfway. He says Bama coach might be in trouble if they don't beat Wisconsin. We'll get into that too as well here on Sweep the League. So again, shout out to everybody playing fantasy football. Amazing jobs out there. Wish everybody the best of luck. And you know what, guys? I was going to talk NFL, but let's get into some college football talk. Yeah, so college football this weekend kicked off, as you can see the scoreboard here. And we're going to talk about the big games. So let's go Texas, Ohio State first. Now, I did take Texas to win this game. And the reason why I took it, and again, if you hear Gio and I talk, our biggest thing with Texas was Arch Manning. We've seen Arch last year playing some big moments, but we never got full disclosure, just let it rain Arch Manning. And we both said that we kind of didn't know we were getting with Arch. My reasoning for taking Texas this weekend over Ohio State was because of Texas's defense, which Texas's defense showed out. I mean, holding the Buckeyes to 14 points at home, they showed out. So that's the reason why I figured Texas's offense was good enough to get them to at least 21 points, maybe 20 points. I would have taken 18 at that, and that would have been enough to beat Ohio State because Texas's defense, elite. They're elite. I will put that up against anything. They are elite. I love it. I said Ohio State. Shout out to my Cincy boss. Yeah, Ohio State. You did take Ohio State. I remember that. But we knew we didn't know what we were getting out of Arch Manning. So I'll say this much: for all the hate that Arch was getting on social media and everybody making fun of him, I don't get that at all. You know what? He's not, he didn't show anything week one, but he hasn't shown anything in the times that he's played. Do you blame Arch for a lot of the mistakes? I really don't. When you look at everything, I blame Sarkisian more than anything. Play calling was total ass. And that's the problem with Coach Sark is he plays too conservative. He tries to just control the game with dinks and dunks and basic plays. He doesn't open up the playbook. I don't know if that's a trust issue, but I mean, we saw it with Quinn Ewers recently. It just seems like Sark in the big games can't get it done. He coaches scared. And that's my biggest problem is that I can't put this on fully on Arch Manning. You really can't put it fully on Arch Manning. Sark's coaching has to change. I get it. You want to be a play caller. I totally get it. But you are the head coach of the University of Texas. You have press conferences. You've got a lot of shit to deal with. Then you want to throw play calling on your plate. It's not working. You've got to move on from that before the University of Texas moves on from you. It's been proven that Sark just can't win the big game. And I know it's week one. I'm not overreacting. I'm going to get to some of my picks. I'm going to get to my final prediction picks here that I made over the weekend. And I got a lot of people bashing me on TikTok because I posted it on TikTok. A lot of people bashing me because I picked Clemson to win the national title. Oh, Clemson lost. What? Well, so much for your pick. You don't know S. You don't know shit. You don't. You picked Clemson to win. It's week one. Clemson played a top 10 team. Literally, it's week one. I heard people saying Texas it's over. Oh my God, they lost. It's week one. When you've got top 10 teams playing against each other, guess what? Somebody's going to lose. Someone's going to lose. It happens. Trust me, it'll happen. It's a guarantee. But when it comes to Texas and Ohio State was a better team. They were. They didn't have the better defense, but they came to play. They stopped Texas's offense. And they just scored just enough on Texas's defense. It's early. It's early in the season. Huge bounce back game coming up. Let's get to some of the comments here. Appreciate everybody joining us in Sweep the League TV. Rudy Campos Jr. again. Coach Gio is in Europe right now. He's overseas, enjoying his vacation on the NIL money that he got. Texas receivers missed some catches. Yeah. I think Arch just showed what he needed. Ohio State was ranked number 3. It wasn't going to be easy. Exactly. It's week one. 2-time in the first half, they went 4th down on the goal line and couldn't punch it in. Again, Sark's play calling. Yo, guys, UTSA program going to outshine UT. Should I start the same conversation that we've been having for a year or two on Sweep the League? Coach Gio always asks this question every single time we talk about UTSA. And it's come up a few times with other people that I've talked to. Why is Coach Traylor still at UTSA? He's proven that he can build a winner. He's proven that when he has the right players, he can win. But Coach Gio and everybody asks, why is he still there? There's a little town north of San Antonio that is the capital of Texas, Austin. I'm gonna create that whole drama that we've been saying for a couple of years, and this is the thing, man. I mean, who better than Coach Traylor if that job in Austin comes available? I mean, who better than Coach Traylor? I know we've talked about it many times. Recruiting is phenomenal. in the state of Texas, the whole pipeline. I mean, you're giving him access to 5-star recruits, more money than he could ever have when it comes to recruiting and NIL. I really feel that if Texas's job becomes open, that's the possibility of seeing Coach Traylor leave to Austin. And it's not talking down. It's not talking down about UTSA's program or anything. But I think Coach Traylor has done and I'm underselling it when I say magnificent job at UTSA. I mean, it's an amazing, amazing job he's done at UTSA. But you can only go so far with your resources that you have. And I think he's might be waiting for a certain job in Austin to be open before considering it. And you know what? UTSA fans, San Antonio fans of UTSA, you cannot blame him if he was ever to take the opportunity. You would cheer for him, root for him. He deserves it. Just throwing it out there. We've talked about it many times before, and we're just throwing it out there again. Ohio State's defense were better in that game. They were good. They were better. I think Texas had opportunities, as you mentioned, twice. 4th and goal. I mean, they had their opportunities. They did. So I think that Texas's offense could have outscored, obviously, Ohio State. Like I said, 18 points. I mean, you got to win right there. Texas's defense was hella good that weekend, that Saturday. Facts. He deserves a bag. Would be cool to see UTSA play OU or play Austin. Play OU Austin. I mean, yeah. I mean, that would be. They have played them before in Austin. If we're talking about the Longhorns, they have played them before. The pressure that comes when you take the UT job. You're right. It's a lot of pressure. But, I mean, who better? I mean, look at it like this. Look at the score. 24-42 UTSA. I mean, yeah, people will say, damn, that's a blowout. Well, I mean, considering what they've lost in the offseason, UTSA, that's pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good. We're going to see what happens this week when they play Texas State, who, again, I'm telling people, watch out for Texas State. They hung 52 this past weekend. They have one of the most dynamic offenses. And I was bragging about them on the NCAA show that we did. Texas State is a team to watch. And as mentioned before, and I'll show you again here in a little bit, they're my 12th team in. They're my last team in. UTSA playing Austin against anyone, them versus UT would be fun. Yeah. I mean, they did play UT before, but I mean, yeah, but the thing too is I think Traylor, I don't know why I picture him being in burnt orange is what I really do. Penn State does get the win, obviously. LSU, Clemson again. Clemson, LSU, hard fought game. LSU is one of the top teams in the country, obviously. But it's just one loss for Clemson. People are making it seem like it's the end of the world for Clemson. It really isn't. It really is week one. Gary Newsmeyer played really, really well, man. And it was a lot closer of a game than a lot of people give credit to. People think 9 beating 4. Oh, my God, it's big time like a blowout. Not even close to that. Wasn't even close to that. Biggest upset of the weekend, obviously, Alabama losing to Florida State, and pretty convincingly. I mean, at halftime, they were up 17-7 on Alabama. Not the same Alabama team. Nick Saban not walking through that door. Alabama was in trouble to begin the season. Gio and I talked on that. We said don't even put a whole lot into Alabama this year. I did not have Alabama making the college football playoffs this season. I don't think Gio had them making the college football playoffs this season. It's going to be a rough year for Alabama, as you can tell. But Florida State going from unranked all the way to 14 in the AP poll that was released, that's a little bit too much. It's a bad Alabama team. That's a little bit too much. We'll get into that here in just a little bit. Florida, who's a dark horse for Gio and I, 55-0 over Long Island University. Get it? It's Long Island University. Okay. But Florida's a team that we did say to watch when it comes to this season. Everybody else, like I said, everybody else is pretty much a winner this weekend. I had Syracuse upsetting Tennessee. That was my upset of the week. Didn't happen. Tennessee came to play. They looked really, really good. And then, of course, you had another top 10 game to end Sunday night. Actually, to end Sunday night. Notre Dame at Miami. I had Notre Dame winning that game. Carson Bennett, Carson Beck had a really good game. Again, a close game. People cannot say, oh, Miami's way better than Notre Dame. You cannot say this early in the season, man. It's so week one is week one. A lot of the top games are getting scheduled for this time. You cannot say that we're going to put all of our eggs into week one and go off of what we've seen. These teams are going to get better as the season goes on. You probably see a lot more struggles by teams that won. You can see a lot more, easily victories and, just hard fought wins for everybody else. It's week one. It's all I say. The catch by Miami receiver, catch of the year. No doubt about that, man. Let's move on. Let's get into some rankings here. So here are the rankings that came out today. Obviously, Ohio State won. I'm not going to argue that. Penn State 2, they did look really good. LSU jumping all the way to number 3. Georgia at 4 again. Georgia still really kind of overrated. In our terms, I like Georgia. I really do. I didn't. It's hard to really sell on Georgia this year. I'm not a really big fan of them making it, I guess, to the college football playoffs. I don't have them in the college football playoffs. I think Gio barely had them in the college football playoffs, but nonetheless, Georgia is at number 4 for right now. Miami jumping up to 5. Oregon quietly at 6. Texas drops from 1 down to 7. Very expected. Clemson again drops down still in the top 10. Notre Dame as well with that loss. South Carolina, huge jump. Number 10, Lenore Sellers, one of the Heisman of the Year candidates. Keep an eye on him. Played very, very, very well this weekend. Illinois at 11. Illinois is a team. Are they ranked a little too high? Is it peaking too early? That's one of the teams that we talked about, as well as Arizona State at 12. Both of those teams we feel like are going to be coming back down to earth a little bit. Don't expect them to be in the top 15 as the season comes to a close here. Again, it is week 1. Florida, fully expect Florida to just keep moving on up. Florida State at 14. You go from unranked to 14. Massive jump. And that's something where I would have expected Florida State to maybe jump into the top 25, maybe around 20, 19 at the maybe the highest. I did not expect them to jump all the way to 14. Again, Alabama, they were not very good to begin with going into the season. So I think it's tough to decide on that, but they did end up going Florida State at 14. Michigan, Iowa State, SMU, Oklahoma, A&M, Ole Miss, and then around at the top 25, Bama, Tennessee, Indiana, Texas Tech, those Red Raiders, and Utah Fighting Utes. That's your top 25. Let me bring in my picks. So here we go. These are the picks that I made. The final college football picks. These were made obviously on Saturday at 11 o'clock in the morning. So you can't say, whoa, they changed. No. My final 12 teams that are going to be in the college football playoffs. I'm letting everybody know right now. I've got Ohio State, Notre Dame, Penn State, Baylor, Texas, Clemson, Florida, Miami, Texas Tech, LSU, Texas State, and SMU. Those are my 12 in that I've got right now. The only one I'm really worried about, obviously, is Texas State. But I really feel they can run the table, and they should be able to get in if they end up running the table. Baylor University, again, Baylor is a squad that people might think, well, why is he taking Baylor? Baylor analytics, man, can do a whole hell of a lot for people. And I'll say this. I mean, I don't, hard for me to say. Baylor ended up losing week one. They got a really big game against SMU this weekend. My Baylor pick was one that I was more worried about than anything. And again, I figured they'd be a top two team in the Big 12. That's my biggest playoff dark horse is Baylor. We all got to have one. So Baylor was my biggest dark horse. Texas Tech, I think, ends up just getting in regardless. My biggest, you know, my biggest thing on the final 12 here is I'm getting some comments here. I've got Clemson winning. Now, again, Clemson did lose this weekend. Totally get it. Totally understand. People are coming at, oh, you pick Clemson. That's over. Week one weekend, and it's over because Clemson loses week one. That means they have no shot at a national championship. That means that they just can't run the table in the ACC and just win everything to get into the playoffs. You get a team in the playoffs, you have a chance. Yeah, that's what it means. They're screwed. Oh, well, they're screwed. Clemson lost. Ooh-wee, big deal. They're done. Y'all really got to get on the same page as me. I don't say stuff on here to say it. I don't post stuff just to post stuff. Everybody who knows and watches Sweep the League knows we don't do that. We don't need clickbait. We don't need to say stuff so we can get eyes on our show. What we say is what we believe. We back up what we believe. And that's why we say it. So yeah, Clemson is my national champion this year. Don't care about week one loss. It was a week one loss to a top 10 team. They can run the ACC. Not a problem. Not a problem. These are my college football picks for the week here. Not for the week, for the year. These are my final college football 12. Again, my only real worry is actually Texas State and Baylor. Baylor's my biggest worry. Texas State has a massive game this weekend against UTSA. They're in the Dome. It's going to be a great game. Texas State blew UTSA out of the water last year. If I'm not mistaken, UTSA is a 4.5-point favorite going into this weekend and the Dome. Texas State has a really complicated but fun offense. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see. For everybody going down to the Dome, enjoy the game this weekend. It's going to be a great one. Again, Rudy Thomas Jr. for Sweep the League Network, man. Get some more of your comments here. Illinois will drop after they beat them. I'm assuming Duke is the one that's playing Illinois this week. Watch out for TCU. Not really buying too much stock into TCU just at the moment. Keep an eye on Louisville, Rudy. There's something about them. You know what? Louisville is the team that I would have replacing Baylor. So if I had to pick one over, I would probably take Louisville over Baylor. Definitely over me. Florida, UT, LSU, and Notre Dame losses with A&M win. With A&M, gig 'em. We'll see about that here. I forgot JC's from Texas A&M, man. So Florida, I think Florida, those are all tough teams, dude. I'm gonna say those are all tough teams. We'll definitely see. We'll definitely see what ends up happening here. But week 2 is going to be underway here pretty soon. Next couple of days. Monday's throwing me off. Having Labor Day off threw me off big times, man. So when we get back, we're going to go ahead and go into some NFL talk. Hey, man, week 1's upon us. We got a game on Thursdays. We got a game on Friday. We got all college football on Saturday, and then Sunday. Sunday's NFL day. Rudy Thomas Jr. We'll be back.
All about them Cowboys. Cowboy baby, Cowboy baby. All about them Cowboys. Cowboy baby, Cowboy baby. Cowboy about them, Cowboy about them. Cowboy, 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 Cowboy. All about them Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys, man? Shout out to STL Music, dropping music left and right. getting us ready for the NFL season about to kick off. Let's jump right into it.
How about them Cowboys?
All right, man. So week one kicks off. We're not even going to get into the scores or anything like predictions, just about anything right now. We're going to be dropping our week one picks actually, they'll be dropped on either Saturday evening or Sunday mornings for you guys out there. PFT, we always use PFT's Power Football, right? Power Football Today, Power Rankings. This is for week one. Again, Power Rankings mean nothing. They don't mean nothing at all. Derek Irvin's coming back to him. He's having some issues with his phone right now, so we're trying to get him squared away. New laptop or whatever we can get to him so he can jump on, but he's dying to get back on the show. So give us a little bit of time to work with him. Plus, he's coaching a few teams as well. So when you're coaching, you got a whole lot to give. Shout out to Jeff Garcia. Not only that, Jeff Garcia was named the new sideline reporter for the Alamo City All-Stars basketball team. You guys, when in San Antonio want to go check it out, go say hi to Jeff when he's doing the sideline reporting for the Alamo City All-Star basketball team in San Antonio. So power rankings, looking this over. I mean, Eagles and Chiefs, I think the Rams are a little bit too low, but again, I get you understand the Matthew Stafford situation. Ravens, I think, are a little bit too high. I mean, they're going to have a great regular season. I just think they're a little too high right now. Like the Buccaneers, but I don't like them that much to be in the top 10. Texans, I think, are a little too low. I actually would have the Texans probably in that 7 range. I would have them jumped a whole lot higher. Outside of that, if you're looking at everybody, the team right there, I don't think the Saints are the absolute worst team in the league. They have them at 32. The Giants are going to be a lot better than people give them credit for. I don't know if people are just throwing the Giants in there because they think the Giants suck, but again, we talked about it on the NFL preview show. The Giants are going to have one of the best defenses in the league. They've got a guy in Russell Wilson who can just get you above water and keep you there. Malik Neighbors is a beast. I think Wendell Robinson and Darius Slayton are going to have really good years with Russell Wilson. Tyrone Tracy, not an everyday name for a running back, but again, I think this Giants team is being overlooked by a lot of people. I think they're going to be a lot better. As a matter of fact, I'm sticking by my guns because in the previous show, we talked in the NFC East. I said that the Giants would not be the worst team in the NFC East. That would be the Cowboys. I had the Giants ranked ahead of the Cowboys. I had Eagles, Commanders, Giants, Cowboys. That's what I ranked them in that division, and I'm going to stick by it. As you can tell, Mike is not there. Damn, the Browns ahead of the Saints. Again, I don't buy that. To me, the Browns are probably the worst team in the league. I don't buy that at all. I think Gio had the Saints barely winning a few games. I actually have the Saints winning more games than the Browns, to be honest with you. I don't have I don't understand that at all, man. Don't think it too hard. It's just week one power rankings. We all know the Cowboys aren't making the playoffs this season. No, I don't have them making the playoffs this season. Dolphins, Jaguars. I think, again, the Jaguars at 28, I think they're a lot better than people are giving them credit then. Panthers, again, same thing. They're right where they need to be. I think they'd be a little bit higher. I'm not super high on the Raiders right now. I would probably have them lower than 24. Colts with Daniel Jones. I think Gio's been saying he's going to have a really good year for the Colts. I think the Colts are probably a little bit ranked a little bit higher than where I would put them right now. Same thing for the Cardinals. I think I have them out of the top 20 when it comes to the Arizona Cardinals. Seahawks, it's tough, man. It's week one. I mean, this is pre-week one power rankings. So how they get these, I have no idea. Yeah, the Saints have the second easiest schedule, and they're projected to win 4 or 6 games. They're not going to be the worst team in the league. If they are, well, okay, they're the worst team in the league. they're going to get pretty damn good pretty quick. I'll be honest with you. But again, the coaching staff that they hired in the offseason was going to do wonders for Spencer Rattler. Even Tyler Shaw, if he's going to be the quarterback there, if Rattler is struggling. I think Chris Olave has a pretty good season this year, barring, again, injury, barring concussion, barring anything like that. Devin Neal, the running back they've got behind Kamara, he's going to be a stud. It's just going to take a little bit of time. I just don't have them as the completely worst team in the league. But those Cowboys at 21, they've got a tremendous offense. And I want to talk about Dallas because, you know, it does come out that Mike is going to, he has L4, L5 injury. And he's going to probably have to take a shot before the game to kind of, you know, ease the pain and let him play through it. Cowboy fans, when Micah was traded and we came on the air and talked about it, I told you guys in our little therapy session, relax. It's going to be okay. The Cowboys are going to be fine. I don't agree with what Jerry does a lot of times, but I agree with him moving Micah. 2 first-round picks. Plus, you get a player that's going to be able to play right away. But you free up $40+ million a year that you were going to have to pay Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is no Charles Haley, who was the main guy on the defense during a lot of the Super Bowl runs. He's not Charles Haley. You don't have a Charles Haley. You can go draft one, or, as Jerry mentioned, you can go trade for one. You can go sign one. It opens up a lot of possibilities. I don't hate the Cowboys. I talk nice about them. I talk bad about them. I'm an equal opportunity Cowboy hater. I'm a Cowboy fan by marriage. If I want to stay married, I have to root for them from time to time. But with Micah gone, the headache is gone in the locker room. You don't have that cloud over Schottenheimer's head going into the season. You free up a whole bunch of cap space. You don't have to sign Micah to that massive deal. You get 2 first-round picks. You're going to have 2 first-round picks this coming draft and the following draft. Albeit, you know, they haven't really drafted great, but, I mean, they should be able to hit on one of these picks, right? Cowboys came out on top. I in our therapy session, I said that. They came out on top. I applauded Jerry for the move. It was a great move by Jerry Jones. You wanted to get out of the Micah Parsons thing. You did it. You absolutely did it. And you did it in a very well way. Now, you weren't going to get Herschel Walker type of deal done. That deal was a once-in-a-lifetime deal. It ain't going to happen again. Yeah, you got the Khalil Mack deal. You had other deals that came through. But to get the same type of deal you did with Herschel Walker and just have the lightning strike twice wasn't going to happen. There's no way. Was not going to happen. Jerry got the best deal possible that he could for Micah Parsons. I asked the question, Cowboy fans. Jacob Eric, Greater Than Market Zone, says facts. Cowboys got more options now. They sure do. Jerry Jones doesn't want to win a Super Bowl. I beg to differ, Tim. I think moving Micah kind of doesn't mean he wants to win a Super Bowl, but he's heading in the right direction. I have more faith in them now than watching them pay, him $40 million and then tying up all the money in 3 players, maybe 4 players. That's too much. Arch Manning, no. They don't need a QB right now. They don't need a rookie QB to come in. Jerry did good. Again, I don't agree with everything Jerry does. I don't agree with everything that he says. But in this move, he did good. I actually have the Cowboys on a better path than what I would have had them had Micah stayed and signed a long-term deal. You've got the person that was going to cause the most issues out of the locker room. Now, Green Bay, you got a hell of a player. Does that equal Super Bowl run for Green Bay? Doesn't hurt. Helps your chances. But I still think Green Bay has quite a few things that need to shore up to get into that Super Bowl talk. They could go on a run. I think with Golden there, gives Jordan Love a dominant receiver. Obviously with Josh Jacobs there, he's getting older. But I think the Packers are still teetering on being a true contender. So for all the Cowboy fans that hated the move, probably still hate the move, probably telling Jerry to go to hell. Why? You weren't going to win the Super Bowl this year. Hell, even with Micah Parsons, I don't even know if you were going to make the playoffs. Maybe Jerry realized that. Maybe Jerry realized, you know what? We may not even be a playoff team this year. So let's quietly piss off Micah Parsons and move him along. And let's get some picks. Let's get this rebuild going. Everything kicks off Thursday night. Philadelphia and Dallas. We'll be getting our picks in now, knowing that we'll be trying to get our picks in tomorrow for you guys. If not, what we normally do is we get our picks in all on the weekend. The Thursday game doesn't count, but we'll try to figure out a way to get a Thursday game in for you guys as well. If you guys want to join in, you can go to our Twitter at Sweep the League. Whenever we post our picks, put yours in there as well. What we do a lot of times is if you end up getting a perfect week and it's on our sheet, we send you a prize. We got a lot of stuff coming in. We got a lot of great prizes coming in. So football season literally is here. Be sure to join our pick'ems. Whenever we post them, you post yours. And if you get the perfect week, you get the perfect prize. Cowboy fans don't understand, Rudy. Honestly, Tim, I think Cowboy fans understand. They just don't want to accept it. It's like Spurs fans. Spurs fans like to bitch about things just to bitch. Same thing goes for Cowboy fans. Appreciate everybody joining me tonight here for Sweep the League, recapping a little bit of week one NCAA football, talk a little about week one and NFL football. We're going to be trying to get to you guys again later on this week. Thursday might be a little bit tough, but we'll try to squeeze in Sweep the League before the game is actually going to be kicking off. Also, tomorrow night we'll be able to get a little bit of a Sweep the League show. I've got too many drafts going on tomorrow night, so we'll definitely see if we can get maybe a 30-minute show in before everything gets going on Thursday, maybe a 30-minute show tomorrow as well. All you got to do is go to our YouTube channel, search Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button so you're not left out in the cold, and you'll know when we go live just by hitting that notification button after you subscribe to us. Shout out to MCS General Contracting, proud sponsor of Sweep the League. We are teasing a new sponsor coming on as well, so be on the lookout for that. Got another great sponsor coming on as well, so appreciate them for talking to a lot of our guys. We're talking to one of our guys over there at Grading the Market. Maybe it's a little hint for you guys out there for talking to him and getting everything set up as well. We're blessed to have everybody on board. Appreciate you guys for taking the time out tonight to listen to me rant about football. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Shout out to Coach Gio, who's over in Europe. He's having a great time. Again, he just got engaged last week. So again, congratulations, Coach Gio and his fiance, for Derek Irvin, for Jacob for Green the Market, Anthony Green the Market, for the fastest growing show on Sweep the League Network. Played the sit. Elias himself, who's going to be off this week. He's returning next week. And everybody else who is with us here at Sweep the League, it is Rudy Campos Jr. Until we sweep the league again, we'll see you later, knuckleheads.